So here today we are going to learn about stability of floating bodies and the terms related to it, and they are metacenter represented by capital M and metacentric height represented by capital GM. These terms also found its importance in the competitive exams. Okay, so before understanding these terms, let us see that what is drawn over here. So here you can see a floating body which is partially submerged in a fluid. Okay, and in case of floating bodies, one thing you need to remember that the weight of the body will be equal to the fluid displaced. Okay, so if this is the portion of the body which is submerged in a fluid, so this fluid from the position will be displaced and it will exert an upward force Fb on the body from the center B, which is known as the center of buoyancy. So again I am repeating that this is a body which is present in its neutral axis in a floating condition. G is the center of gravity of the body which is acting in its downward direction with weight W, while B is the center of buoyancy through which the upward buoyant force is exerted on the body by the liquid which is displaced from this position when the body is immersed. Okay. Now, when this body is given some angular displacement, for example theta, then the point at which body starts oscillating will be referred to as metacenter. Okay. So, metacenter could be defined as a point at which body starts oscillating after given a small angular displacement, suppose represented by theta. So, the point at which body starts oscillating after given a small angular displacement will be referred to as metacenter. Okay. So, here the first condition that is represented is as stable equilibrium. So, what is stable equilibrium and what does it represents? So, after giving a small angular displacement of say theta to this body in the clockwise direction, the center of gravity of the body with a weight W will act in the downward direction, but now as the body is displaced, the fluid which is displaced by this body will also get displaced and the center of buoyancy will move from B to B dash. So, from this point now the upward force Fb will be exerted by the fluid through the center B dash, and when a straight line is drawn from this B dash, so the point at which it cuts the line, original line, neutral axis line, then that point will be referred to as metacenter. So, here M is a metacenter which is obtained when this B dash, when a parallel line from B dash cuts the neutral axis line at point M. So, this is the metacenter M and the distance GM will be referred to as metacentric height. So, metacentric height is defined as distance between center of gravity and metacenter. So, center of gravity is G, metacenter is M. So, the distance between center of gravity and metacenter is referred to as metacentric height GM. Okay. Now, we need to understand that how the floating body will remain in a stable condition or how it will become unstable or how it may be in neutral condition through the position of this metacenter and center of gravity. So, in this figure, as the point center of buoyancy shifts from B to B dash, a couple force will be generated between the weight W and the force of buoyancy B. So, if I will draw a line like this, so this is a couple force which is occurring between the weight W of the body in the downward direction and the force of buoyancy Fb in the upward direction. Now, this couple force will move like this so making the body stable again, and hence it is referred to as stable equilibrium. Okay, the couple force which is generated over here will move in anti-clockwise direction and making the body stable again. So if what are the conditions for Gm and M in case of stable equilibrium? So if M is above G, the body is said to be in stable equilibrium. In case of unstable equilibrium, what will happen? That the couple force which will be generated between the force of buoyancy and metacenter, weight of body in the downward direction. So this couple force will tend to move body in the clockwise direction, resulting in the unstable condition equilibrium, or resulting in the submergence of the floating body. So here if M is below G, the body will become unstable. This is G, this is M. So G is above, M is below, so it is in unstable equilibrium. And when this displaced center of buoyancy will exert the buoyant force Fb, and that buoyant force Fb lies in a same line to weight of the body W in the downward direction, then the body will be in neutral equilibrium. Neutral equilibrium means it will stay in the same position in which it has been given a small displacement. So in that case, M will be equals to G. Okay. So I hope you got it, that how the terms metacenter and metacentric height are related to these conditions of the stability of floating bodies, and how we can define the different conditions of floating bodies depending upon the position of metacenter and center of gravity. Thank you.